First, we had the North Dakota Fighting Hawks taking on the Cinderella team of the tournament, the number 12 ranked Wisconsin Badgers. Wisconsin got it going early with 2 goals in the first period, each coming within 37 seconds of each other. And that was all that was needed. Folks, Cinderella found her glass slipper once again. The Badgers got the W by a score of 2-1 thanks to a stellar all-around offensive performance with a total of 37 shots on goal, and Wisconsin is on to the national championship. The second game of the evening was a rematch of the 2022 national championship game between the Pioneers of the University of Denver and the men's basketball national champion Michigan Wolverines.
I mean, this USA team has absolutely everything.
Yes, Charlie, but let's hold on a second here. As good as the U.S. is, Pool C holds the defending champs in Japan. The Japanese are led by the greatest player in the world, Shohei Ohtani, and the World Series MVP, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Talk about star power. To go along with Japan in Pool C is Australia, Korea, Czechia, and Chinese Taipei. Thank you, Emma. If you haven't been watching men's hockey at this year's Winter Olympics, allow me to persuade you to start because you've missed quite the show. It is okay if you haven't, though, because the best part arrives this weekend, with the medal round getting underway today. So to help prepare you all for a wild next couple of days, you're going to get a bit of a history lesson. So let's turn back the clock and take a look at the history of one of the best tournaments in sports. Coming in at number 2, going from one side of the diamond to the other, the Baltimore Orioles signed Pete Alonso from the New York Mets to a 5-year, $155 million deal. While Alonso might not be fixing the Orioles' starting pitching issues, the polar bear is going to add a ton of bombs to an already super power-heavy O's lineup. Now let's go see who's coming in at number 1. This fight will be available to stream on Netflix for millions to watch live. The last time a boxing fight was live on Netflix was back in November when Jake Paul defeated Mike Tyson, which had a viewership of a whopping 108 million people and is the most streamed global event ever. So this fight should have a pretty big audience. The undercard tomorrow night is expected to begin at 8 p.m. Central Time, with the main event expected to begin around 10. For boxing fans, tomorrow can't come soon enough, as 2 of the best fighters of the 21st century will step into the ring with all the belts on the line for a bout that everyone has been waiting for. Will Canelo keep his titles, or will we see Terrence Crawford become the new undisputed champion? Emma, what's your prediction for tomorrow night's super fight? Thank you, Emma. MLB Opening Day 2026 is officially underway. The season opened up on Wednesday night on Netflix, where the Yankees and the Giants faced off in San Francisco, with the rest of the major league teams having their opening days yesterday and today.
With opening day here, let's turn back the clock and take a look back at the history of one of the greatest and most iconic days in sports.
Thank you, Emma. And we are here at beautiful Hoagland Ballpark right after the Jayhawks just defeated St. Thomas by a score of 4-2 in Game 1 of the 3-game weekend series to open things up here at Hoagland Ballpark. Jayhawks won 4-2, and the big story was an error by the second baseman in St. Thomas in the 8th inning. Threw the ball away. Jayhawks scored 2, and then Bodie Ray shut it down in the 9th with 3 big strikeouts to secure the W.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a bit of a hot take. Breaking their playoff drought, making the playoffs for the first time in 14 years. Give me the Buffalo Sabres to win the Stanley Cup come June. 14-year drought, they broke it. I like Dallas, but I love Tage Thompson. This kid can absolutely play. He dances with the puck. He's got soft hands. He's an MVP candidate, and he's young, fresh legs. Lindy Ruff, the head coach behind the bench for the Buffalo Sabres, he was there in 1999 when the Sabres lost in the final to the Dallas Stars. He's been there before. He knows how to handle a young team.
You're getting a little too excited here. You're talking about the Buffalo Sabres.
I know, but there's something about these guys in upstate New York that I really like. The tradition starts all the way back in 1934 when the Detroit Lions hosted the Chicago Bears. Since their debut in Turkey Day back in '34, the Lions have played on every Thanksgiving except during the league's 5-year hiatus for World War II. Let's backtrack 3 years to 1993 in a snow game in Dallas between the Cowboys and the Dolphins, when Leon Lett made one of the most famous mistakes in the history of the NFL.
Now someone touches the football here. Watch what happens. It's Leon Lett. No!
Yeah, I get it. He leads the league in all those stats, but he forgot 2 of the most important ones. Cal Raleigh leads the league in home runs and RBIs. 56 bombs. The guy absolutely crushes baseballs.
Judge doesn't have 48 home runs himself. It's not like he's sitting here with 10 home runs. He hits power too.
I understand that, Charlie, but Cal Raleigh, not only has he broken the record for most home runs by a catcher in a single season, He also has broken the record for most home runs by a switch hitter in a single season. That is 2 broken records for home runs that Raleigh has broken. But you have to take all these catchers' numbers with a grain of salt. There's a reason that when they pop up on Hall of Fame resumes that they look at them with a grain of salt, because catcher is the hardest position to play in baseball. Your body gets banged up. Your knees are destroyed.
I agree with that.
And when you hit 56 bombs and you are 6 away from breaking Aaron Judge's record, and he might do it. He might break that record.
He's not breaking that record.
He might do it. He might do it. He needs 6 away. When you are that close, and when you have the numbers that Raleigh does, and you play the hardest position in baseball, both on your body and just to play in general, you got to take those numbers with a grain of salt. And you don't even really need to that much because he's got so many home runs.